All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we are, of course, back in the shop, and as usual, got another truck bed, just like last time, but I'm going to show something a little bit different, a new spot that I never had to repair before. So we're going to jump into that, and then I might have something extra too, actually, on the cab. But let's take a look over here first. Okay, so yeah, like I said, normal job here. Replacing the cross members. This is all done. Bed floor in this situation was actually in really good shape. Pain in the butt to weld because it's bed lined on the inside, and this person fluid filmed the whole thing for how long they had it. So it's a lot of contamination you got to deal with. So you got to prep everything just right. But anywho, so when we were looking at this initially and we looked underneath the truck, they saw this spot here, which was good. And then they looked over here and they saw that spot there was bad. Let me show you the old panel. So I never had to replace this piece before, but they do sell that whole rear cross member. I think Key Parts makes it, in a local place by me called Ray Buck Auto. They're in Pittsburgh, PA. They sell this whole cross member. I want to say, I'm not sure, but I think it's around like 180 bucks. But anyways, so the whole thing's in good shape besides this piece here. This is what it was. And that piece, sat like that. That tab was bent down more, and this whole flange was bent up. And typically, usually when I get these trucks, usually this flange is starting to rust up a little bit. So I usually just needle scale it, wire wheel it, and usually hit it with some Rust-Oleum rust converter, and of course undercoating the inside of it best you can. So I had to replace this panel here. Wasn't sure really how to do it. Had my buddy helping me out here because I was going to do it in two pieces because of the flange. And the flange, it's not really that much of an issue, but let me show you. See how it curves? So that's kind of what I was dealing with, this because it curves like this, and then you had the flange. So I wasn't sure how it was going to work, because normally when I make panels like that, it usually doesn't want to go where you want it to go with what I have, because I don't have any fancy sheet metal tools or anything like that. I just used channel locks, my bench vise, and stuff like that. So anyways, so I did end up cutting it out of one piece, which I'm glad I did. So it was a good call by my buddy for sure. And then we got everything welded in here just like it was, honestly. So, but I think this opening that's there normally, that actually really helps you, put that little bit of twist in that panel. I'll show you what the other side looks like. I just hit it with some spray paint real quick. I mean, it's down by the tailgate. It's not too crazy. Nobody ever sees it. And then we'll hit it with some clear when we're done. But I wanted to show you this because, like I said, I've never seen anybody post a video replacing this piece, whole piece, or even some of it before. So that's that. Of course, I can't find it. That usually happens, especially when I need something that's gone, disappears. So, we had to drill out all the spot welds here. There's a million different ways to do it. So I'm just going to show you how I did it. Drilled this thing out. You saw it was difficult to locate the spot weld, so we had to do it multiple times. But needless to say, we won. So that's cool. So then I just pound this whole thing flat. That way we just have this whole thing as a template. And then I just laid it on a piece of cardboard, traced it out, cut it out, roughly checked to see where it is. It was good. It matched this. And then I transferred it to a piece of metal. And then same thing, just used my angle grinder and just cut the whole thing out. I even did this. And the trick is, when you get into these curves, they don't have to be perfect. So when you get into this, you get in these tight radiuses, just score it. And then I use the angle grinder to just I cut the whole way through here. And then you could push one side and work the other with some channel locks or something. And That's easy to do. The only thing I didn't put in, you could see it, is I didn't put this hole in here. Why? Because I don't see the point. Someone might say drainage, whatever, but there's really not that much here that would be a problem. And I can tell you from my experience replacing these never fill up. Like this underside here, this never fills up with anything. But, so I'm not worried about it. But let me show you, we got the hole just right. I put that little tab there. I didn't even spot weld it. I just, you know, lap welded it just like that. So that's all good. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you that real quick. And then that's pretty much it. So I'm done with the bed as of now. All I have to do is throw some paint on here, and then got to take a look and see maybe some spots that we got some bed liner showing, like lifting up, and take care of that, and this will be done. And if you have a bed liner, when you go to weld these things in, it's best, if you can, try to pre-drill your spot weld holes on the old ones, because the old ones there's a lot more meat there. So when you start your spot weld, you start it on the old spot weld that's still on the bed floor, and you don't hold on the gas and just keep going with it and give her hell. Because if you do, you're gonna end up, melting through enough that it's gonna pull that bed liner right up through, and it'll start spitting. And it's kind of dangerous, because I had one time already, it spit, and thankfully it wasn't in my face, but it went right between my fingers, and it instantly burns. There's nothing nice about it. It sucks. So yeah, like I said, you don't want to hold that arc very long. It's maybe a second, enough that you start to get penetration, and then you pretty much let it cool, and then from there you can kind of start to fill up your pre-drilled hole, and eventually, and I do this motion because that's how I do it, and then you'll work your way up to the metal of this, and then it's enough to hold all that, especially when you got all the factory welds in there just like before. And that's plenty to hold it, plus it gets bolted down and all that stuff. So that's my quick tip for welding stuff with bed liner. So another thing here is, for the first time in probably about 6 years or so, I've done the bed cross members using Dorman products. Usually I don't. Usually I've been using a Amazon kit, and it's usually linked in the description of some of the older videos and stuff. But this person wanted to go with Dorman, so we went with Dorman, which I would tell you it's about twice as much as the cost. So let me give you my feedback on that real quick. Is there a difference between this kit and I have a couple cross members from the Amazon kit that I didn't have to use because I did a short bed. So just an idea of what it looks like. This one's pretty thick as far as everything goes. It's probably 16 gauge. I think this one is about the same. And this cross member here, I can tell you it's no different than the Amazon one. I was thinking that maybe this one would fit better, but to be honest with you, it's about the same. There wasn't enough difference for me thinking, oh, next time I do one of these, I'm going to recommend a Dorman one. So I don't know. That's my take on that, because that stuff, this here, no different. Even this bottom one down here, no different. Now, the only thing I was going to check out, and I'm not sure if it's any different, excuse my complete disaster of a workbench, is these bolts. They look about the same as the Amazon kit. Got the same size here. I think it's a number 8 or something. It's an oddball size. Bolts look about the same. But with these, no matter which kit I get, I could tell you, I usually start them by hand. Because in the past I've had these strip out before in the capture nuts. And I tell you, it is not a fun thing to go undo. So, yeah. But these look about the same as what I get from the Amazon kit. The only difference is the washers they provide are a little more substantial, because I'm trying to see if I have a spare one. These are the old ones. They're close to the factory ones. But the factory ones are probably about twice as thick. So you can see there's a difference. This thing here is, it's pretty thin. These are almost an 1/8 inch thick. There's cases that I sometimes reuse the factory ones if I don't, dig them out too much like this. But the Amazon kit, the washers, I have a problem with the washers because the diameter is not as big. It's only a little bit bigger than the bolt head. So sometimes it doesn't want to catch the holes on the top side when you're bolting down the floor. That's the only issue I usually have with those. These look about the same too. Got those, and these are the little, you could get these at any parts store. So no different, nothing special. These bolts here, this is what goes to your, of course I picked the one I can't even grab. It goes on the, your bedside supports right there, and then they're on the back side of those. That's what these are for. I usually have no issue. No matter what kit I use, they're all about the same and do the same job. No different. But I just want to give you my feedback on that. So when I spend twice as much getting the Dorman bed Crossmember kit for the Superduty, no, I wouldn't. Because these, usually I just end up finding the long bed kit because it's cheaper than the short bed kit for whatever reason on Amazon. But I've seen these go from, $150 to $180. And it's the same stuff. Or we'll just say the same quality in my experience. The only thing I could even mention that I have an issue with sometimes is I'll get the boxes, and the boxes are kind of ripped open at the bottom. And sometimes I'm missing a washer or usually a washer for the bolts. But I have enough extra. That's not an issue. So I will continue to get the kits off of Amazon. I know that. And from their vendors. But, I'll put a link in the description for all of it, even the Dorman ones, too, if you want to check it out. But the only thing I could say is go on there and read the reviews and, make your decision from there. But I hope this helps. So I just want to provide that little bit of information for you. Otherwise, I'm going to get back to it, get this thing on the truck, and get it finished up. All right, now that I got the bed flipped over here, I want to show you what I meant. It's actually, I guess, maybe, I don't know. You be the judge. I don't think it's as bad as what I was saying before. So there's a burn through mark on the bed liner. That's just for usually a typical spot weld, but as I said before, the process of doing it the way I explained before about trying to weld on an existing one, it'll minimize that, because you could see I got nothing else really going on, really in the whole bed. But here, I actually had like a dime size hole, so I had to weld it. And that's how it kind of came through. So, I mean, it's not terrible because, in a way, it actually melts the bed liner, and then it, glues itself back down to the floor. So really, throwing just black paint on this, you're good to go. But as I explained before, you could definitely take a wire wheel or something, just kind of feather this edge and then just go back over it, tape it off and go back over it with bed liner, whether it's roll it or just pour it in there. I don't know. Brush it on a couple times. It'll work out just fine. And of course, spray. You could do spray, just a quick spot, a couple of those. But same thing on the other side. And then trying to find, there's one more burn through mark. Actually, that's not a burn through. We drilled completely through that one, but these are all good. This is the bed bolt holes, because usually when they get these spraying liners, they always spray over the washer and the bolt head itself. But like I said, if you do what I said before, you could really minimize it. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to getting this all hooked up and get it up in the air, and I'm gonna get the truck in here so we can put it down. Okay, so yeah, I mentioned that I might have some extra work I'm going to be doing, which is going to be a rocker panel. But I'm going to end this video now just on the bed stuff. You see we got it all on. Everything's perfect as usual. And then stay tuned for the next one, and I'll be doing the inner and outer rocker panel repair on this truck. Thanks for checking out the video today. Hopefully you got something out of it with that, different piece that we normally don't have to do. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and also subscribe, because there's going to be plenty more coming just like this one. Thanks again for tuning in today, and we'll see you in the next one as always.